this guy who's operating a business, who you're franchising the brand, make a argument, distinction, give a perspective on franchising versus not. Good and bad, reflecting back through all these years.
There's nothing bad. Now, talk to a lot of other franchisors, and they're going to tell you that the bad stuff is that you get these people involved in your system that don't agree with who you are and don't agree with how you want to do it and have different standards, and they don't operate the business how you would operate the business, and on and on and on and on. I love that about the business. So our job is to lead, coach, mentor people down a path to success. And we believe that we have a system to do that. And so that's the challenge. The only downside to franchising is you have these really independent, strong people, personalities that have been successful in something. And they come in and, like, thank goodness they are who they are, yeah. Right? Thank goodness they have this independent streak, that they're willing to roll the dice, that they're willing to take the risk. And so if that personality, if you want good employees and you want your franchise owners to be good employees, you're going to have a really, really poor franchise concept, because that's not what it takes to be a successful franchisee. Like, and so now, yeah, at times it's a little taxing, right? But, that's the business, and they're our customers. They are our customers. And once you cross that hurdle to where that person is your customer, all of a sudden the franchise business becomes a very different proposition.
You're just there to serve. And if your mentality is like, hey, I'm here to serve, there's no problem. That's an issue.
Yeah. There's no problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the upside of franchising is immense, right? And I think that probably the community of people you've brought together that are part of your world, that is the power of franchising that nobody talks about.
Yeah, that's when you touched on that before I asked the question. I'm like, he's already answered it. When you talked about this wide breadth of the resource, that you have these intelligent people who are out running these businesses that have all this life experience. I mean, what better format for even you to learn and BIGGBY and the company to learn from than people like that?
And for them to learn from each other.
100%.
Like that's the piece. Like if you're new in a franchise system, and I've coached people that I have friends of mine that are in different franchise systems where they bought franchises. I'm like, you got to find like the top 5, 10 performing franchisees in the system. And then you got to make these people your best friend. Like, you got to make them your best friends. And then you got to lean on them, and they have a vested interest in your success. When you invest in a franchise company, you're investing in the fact that that franchise company is going to become successful, that brand is going to become successful, because you're going to be able to leverage that success. And so we all, as a franchise owner inside of a franchise system, you have a vested interest in that retail unit over there succeeding. And so you're going to help that person.
So what's leaning on them? That top 5 to 10%, having you lean on them, what's that look like? Say, hey, lean on those people. What's that look like from your seat and the other co-founder's seat for those top 5 to 10% of all-in franchisees?
Well, when a new person comes in, I want them to, sit and pay attention and listen to that franchise owner talk about their business. How do they frame up their business? Follow the system. So I can tell a prospective franchisee or a new franchisee, tell them blue in the face that the system works. But you got this person over here that's built 17 stores, who's making really good money, who has clearly a successful business from a financial metrics perspective on their hands. And that person looks at you and says, just follow the system. Boom. Right. And our top 10% of our franchise owners, no doubt they would say the system works. Like, just follow the system. They will. And so that would be another piece of it. Long-term perspective. They've all been through the ringer, just like Mark, you have, and I have, right? Like, they've all been through the ringer. There's countless stories of, I have a woman that's now retired, which is an amazing thing. She built a real solid business in our world. She sold it. She's now retired. But, she tells stories of going out into her car in the middle of the afternoon and crying and crying and crying because she didn't think she was going to be able to do it. She didn't think it was going to work. And so that perspective is a perspective I want the new franchise owner to have.